It's Sweden time, and Sweden is open at the moment, and the opportunity is there, and that's why I'm bringing you this video. Hello, folks. This is your one and only WKa&x doctor. Always bring you the best gist when it comes to migration and moving abroad. You know how we do it on this channel. All we need to do, all we like to do, all we want to do is to share information with respect to living, moving, working, relocation abroad. It doesn't matter what the pathway you intend to use, whether it's through the academic pathway, through permanent residency pathways, or even if it's through your career. This is where you get all the resource that you need to have. If this is the first time of coming across my channel, I want to say that you're welcome, and there's no better place to be. And for my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you for always supporting and watching. I'm hoping that some of these resources have helped you. I'm hoping that they will continue to help you in the future. Two quick things before we go on to the video of the day. You know, I always like to give you hot, to give you the full gist, and not withhold anything. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Number one is to say that I'm not on WhatsApp. I am not on Telegram, just in case you find anybody say that they are on WhatsApp. You contact them on WhatsApp or contact them on Telegram. It is not me. I usually share information on my Twitter, Instagram, YouTube platforms. There are broadcast channels on my Instagram feed, and also if you want to know how to contact me, if you check the description box of this video, you would find how to contact me there. Secondly, is that a few months ago, I wrote a book that's titled Move Abroad by Force. The idea behind this book is to help people who want to move abroad and do it on their own, follow the process step by step. So if you're looking for opportunities of permanent residency, you're looking for cheap travel opportunities, you're looking for countries that would allow you move without a job offer, you're looking for countries where you can go to without a degree, everything is in this book, and you can do it all by yourself. Okay, the book is very affordable, and if you want to obtain this book, check the description box of this video and the book will be there. Okay, now to this video, remember that I always say this. This is a very popular quote of mine. I say that your placenta isn't buried in the UK. It's not in Canada. It's not in the US. You don't have to go to these countries by force, especially if you cannot afford it. If you cannot afford to go to these countries, you don't have to go there. And I'm big on creating alternative pathways that would not cost you much, alternative pathways that would allow you to move with your family. And one of these countries is Sweden. Yes, Sweden. It's Sweden time, and Sweden is open at the moment, and the opportunity is there. And that's why I'm bringing you this video. As always, I like to invite people who know how to do it, people who have moved using this pathway, people who live in these countries, to come and share with you, to come and explain how they did it, so that you don't say it's WKa&x doctor that is saying all these things. You hear from the horse's mouth themselves. So I'm going to bring up my guests. You know, my guests, they are always very beautiful. They're always smiling. So I'm bringing you someone else again who is also beautiful and always smiling. Please don't say she's beautiful in the comment section without telling me that I'm handsome. All right, let's get to it. Quick introduction. Do you want to tell us your name, where you are, and what you do?
Of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. I am currently in Sweden, Stockholm. And yeah, I work in the finance team of one of the telecoms company here.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I came here to study in 2020, and I studied in a different city, but moved to Stockholm, the country's capital, last year.
Fantastic. I've known Sarah for about 2 years, about now. And you've heard from her. She moved to Sweden 3 years ago. She lives in Sweden. She works in Sweden. You can see she speaks English, you see? So all these things we're going to demystify today. Sweden opens in a few days, in 1 or 2 days from the recording of this video. Let's talk about the documents. What documents are required when it comes to admission in Sweden?
So the documents are very much dependent on the school that you're applying to, but ordinarily you need maybe your passport, to apply to it. And you need, so the two major documents you need are your passport and your transcript, because many of the times they like to, look at your results and everything. And then depending on the school you're applying to and the course you're applying to as well, they might then require some other documents like statement of purpose or motivation letter. They might ask for your CV. If you're applying for something maybe in construction or architectural, they might ask for, your portfolio. So it's very much dependent, but at the very least, you're going to need your passport. Or if you don't have your passport ready at that moment, you could actually use your NIN, because I think that was what I used for mine. They just need a form of identity and your transcript.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Very straight to the point. Now let's talk about the process now, because this is where this is the most important part. Talk to us about the step-by-step process involved in getting admission. How do you do it? What's involved?
Okay, so I mean, from the beginning, it starts from when does the application open? And usually they have two application rounds, but then it's better for international applicants to apply during the first round, because so you can have enough time to process your, residence permits to come here. So admission opens around October. Then the next thing is obviously to search for, you probably know what you want to study already. So it's to search for which schools offer the course you want, check what's the range of their tuition. Is it something I can likely afford? Does this school have a scholarship or not? So basically checking all of those information and even seeing if you're qualified to apply for what you want to apply for. One thing I would say about schools in Sweden is many times, if you're coming for a master's degree, for example, they want you to apply for something similar to what you've done in your bachelor's degree, because when they ask for your transcripts, they probably want you to have done some particular courses. And if it's not related, if it's not a little bit related to what you've done in the past, you would not be able to qualify to apply for those courses. So, and it would not make sense to just waste your money to do the application for them. So yeah, so find out if you are eligible to apply for those things, then put in your application. The good thing about Sweden is you can apply for up to 4 schools at a time, and it's the same what's it called, application fee that you're paying. And the unfortunate thing is that the maximum number you can apply to is also 4. But if you are doing a bachelor's degree, I think you can apply for up to 8. So, you pick your 4 schools and they want you to rate the schools, like, which one is your first choice. But I mean, you could get admission in any of them. And, the admission is very dependent on the quality of applicants they get as well. So if, you've had really good grades in the past, like, it's better for you because it can be very merit-based. And then, yeah, you put in your application. And no, not unfortunately, I think the application period ends sometime in the middle of January, but then you have to wait 3 months till April for the results to actually come out. So if you apply, on time, or you apply later, it doesn't mean, you get your admission earlier than other people. Everybody gets, whether you were admitted or not admitted in April at the same time.
Wow. So you talked about the fact that you can apply using 4 schools if it's postgraduate, 8 schools if it's undergraduate, and you talked about the platform. What's the name of this platform that people can apply from?
Yeah, so the platform is called universityadmissions.se. So you go there and then, you can click around and, I think it's in English because there are a lot of international students as well. So you can click around and you'll be able to navigate your way.
Universityadmissions.se.
Yes.
So you did say that, okay, you start, it opens in October. You wait until April to get, you get news of your admission. And then once you get the admission, we are moving to visa. What are the visa requirements and how do people process the visa?
Okay, so usually when you get your admission, you've gotten admission and everything, the next step is to pay the first installment of your tuition. So the tuition is usually paid semester by semester. So when I say pay the first installment, it basically means paying the first semester tuition. So after you pay that, you can then begin the process.
What's the tuition like?
So I mean, it's very dependent, but then between 5,000 to 7,000 euros per semester. Yeah, it ranges around that. And with inflation and everything, they might have increased it.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Yes. So after you make the payment of the first installment of your tuition, then you can proceed to apply for the residence permit, because you need that proof that you've made that payment while applying. So ordinarily, things you need when you want to apply for that, you need your passport. Obviously, if you don't have your passport, please go get your passport. You need your passport to apply for that. You need this. So usually when you've been notified that you get an admission from a school, there's something called letter of notification. You need to submit that as well, proof that, oh, you actually do have an admission in Sweden. Then you need the proof that you've paid your first installment. Then you also need a proof of fund, and they usually require it to be in your name. So how the proof of fund works is that, so every year there's like different amount they expect you to have per month. And I checked recently, and the current amount is 9,450 crowns per month. That's about 900 euros per month. And then you multiply that by the number of months that you're applying for. If you're coming for maybe a 1-year master's degree, I think it's usually about 10 months or so, or maybe 12, you multiply it by that. If you're coming for a 2-year master's degree, I think you initially have to apply for a 13 months residence permit, then extend in your next year, because some schools you can do it straight up. So depending on what you're applying for, depending on what fits your scenario, you multiply that amount by the number of months. And you should have the money in your account. They don't want it in somebody else's account. Even if somebody sending it to you, let it be in your account. And I think it's better for the money to stay in your account till you're done with the whole visa process, because they could get back to you and say, oh yeah, maybe they are getting back to you late, and they say, oh, they need an updated bank statement, and they don't want to be seeing the money transfer. It will just cause some havoc. And then they also say you need health insurance, but I think many schools actually offer that to students. I know my school, I came to study for 1 year, and my school offered health insurance. If you're coming to study for 2 years, you can sign up for Social Security. So you don't necessarily need that, because when you get in, you can sign up for that, and you can get healthcare. But usually, I think even if you're coming for 1 year, schools provide it. So it's not something many people go out of their way to provide.
So you just submit all the documents at the Swedish embassy, and
so you don't have to go to the Swedish embassy. Good thing. You can do it online. So when you go to the pronunciation is Swedish by his Migrationsverket. But
okay,
I mean, I can drop that.
Migrationsverket. I think.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go to their website, you can create a profile, and you would be able to attach different things you need to attach there. So you don't need to go anywhere physically to submit anything, and you have to pay the application fee as well. And the application fee is like 15,000. No, not 15,000. 1,500 crowns. That's about 150 euros. And yes, so you do that. And recently I heard that they've been doing more interviews, because I remember when I came here, I did not have to do, any interview. I just went to do my biometrics and everything, but there wasn't an, come for an interview kind of thing. But nowadays they've been telling people to, come for an interview. So that's something one has to just prepare for ahead of time. But I feel like if you are on top of, the whole process, like if the school you're going to, you're not just going there to be blank and everything. I don't think it should be that difficult to, scale through and pass through it. And yeah, if the application is done well, I don't see any reason why there should be a rejection, even though, recently there's been some things, but if everything is done well and then you present yourself, it should be fine.
Amazing. Now, the tricky part, and to know whether some people would be able to apply is, and this is a series of questions I like to ask. Number one is IELTS compulsory? Two, can students work while they study? Do they accept second-class lower degrees, third-class, higher national diploma? Talk to us about those.
Okay. So the first thing, IELTS, it's not compulsory. They know that maybe for some countries, but then for Nigerians, not compulsory. And I don't think there's any school that has the IELTS requirement rather. So depending, some programs might ask for GMAT. For example, maybe finance in a particular school might ask for GMAT results. Some other places it might be mandatory. So it's not a usual requirement you will see in a lot of places. Just some might ask for it. Can you walk? Oh, you can walk till you die. So unlike the way it, unlike the way it is in, some other countries where there's a limitation of 20 hours, there's nothing, like that here in Sweden. You can work your full time and yeah, everything will be fine.
There
Do
is
they
no
accept?
limitation.
Yeah, you can work full time, 40 hours.
Wow. Even while
Yeah,
you're studying.
yeah, while you're studying. Some
Wow.
people they go to school and,
Stop focus. Amazing. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah, so
And
there's
what
none of
about the
that.
second class lower students and higher national diploma students? How does that work?
So HND, I'm not sure you could apply for that because many times they are, asking. So I'm very not sure. It can be very, very dicey with that. It's better if you stand better chances if you have a BSc degree because many times they're just not putting HND out there. If you have a second class lower, you can apply. I mean, they're not saying, oh, if you have this, don't apply. But then for some courses, they might tell you, oh, the minimum grade you should get is a C. And second class lower does not qualify as a C. So, obviously for those kind of courses, you can't apply to them. So if you have that kind of result, you then have to, look specifically at somewhere that would accept the kind of grade that you have. And also, when you should have it, I mentioned earlier that it can be very much based on merit. So you should have that at the back of your head as well. Like, even though you are applying, other people are applying, people with probably better results are applying as well. So it's very dependent on the quality of the applicants that they get. So you just pray that, you're one of the top.
And a lot of people would also be interested in knowing if they can move with their families. And if they can move with their family or not, would the partner, so let's assume, you have a husband who's applied and he wants to come with his wife, would his wife be able to work while he studies?
Mm. Yes, you can move with your partner, but thing is, I have to reconfirm if they've, put a pause on it at the moment. But I don't think, but you can move with your partner when you're coming to study. People have done it, but usually what used to happen is, usually I know some people, they maybe waited and then their partners applied later, but I think you should be able to, move at once. And yes, your partner can work while you are studying. Your partner can work. Yes.
Fantastic. Are you aware of any scholarships? Because I know you said, so tuition is between averagely 5 to 7,000 euros. Is it per semester or per
Per
year?
semester. Per semester.
And you have 2 semesters, yeah? Okay. So are there scholarships or funding that people can apply for to get discounts?
Okay, yeah. So the biggest scholarship that I'm aware of is the Swedish Institute scholarship. So that scholarship, it covers your tuition, like the whole of the tuition, and then they give you stipends monthly. I think about 11,000 crowns now per month. That's like about 1,000 euros. And if you stay in a student apartment, that is not so expensive. I feel like that should be enough for your, day to day, because that's even below what they expect of you monthly.
Yeah.
So that should cover for your day to day. Then other scholarships that are there, different schools, many schools actually have scholarships in them, and it's very merit based. So if you have, very good results, you stand higher chances of getting those scholarships. And many schools, the requirement for their scholarships is that you make them the first of your rank. I heard, yes, you make them the first choice. So you have to look at the different schools you're applying to. I know that, okay, yes, this school has a scholarship and I'm making this school my, first choice, because even if you get admission to that school and the school is not your first choice, they would not consider you for that scholarship. Just automatically that happens. And then for the scholarship, some schools might also request for maybe like a motivation letter or something, or why you need scholarship. And some other schools can even go as far as, letting them, like you informing them the degree or percentage of scholarship you want. To say 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100%. But different schools do have scholarships in them, so we just have to look out for them.
Fantastic. Look, thank you very, very much. One final question I want to ask is, a lot of people will be wondering if they can contact you. Are you willing to help people? And of course, I don't expect it to be free service, because everybody has, work and time, but we know that not everybody will be able to do this thing on their own. Some people would need assistance. Are you willing to help people do it for a fee? If yes, how can they contact you?
Okay, so every year I have, a quota because I don't want to take more than I can chew because I'm working as well. So I could help like a number of people, especially with the admission aspect, because over the visa aspect, I could just guide you through what to do, but I can't do anything about that. So I could help people with that. And yeah, if you're serious about it, please don't waste my time. Yeah,
Exactly.
you can like send an email to me. Send an email to me on okwade.sarah1@gmail.com.
Okay, so
And yeah,
Okwade, OKUNADE
UNADE dot
dot Sarah,
Sarah
SARAH
SARAH one,
1 at
yes, at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
So just reach out to me with your name and like what you intend to study, what you've studied in the past. Just like tell me your whole story without briefly tell me your whole story. And then I will take it up from there, and we know what to do.
Amazing, amazing. Look, guys, she's offered to help. It's a paid service, it's not free, but don't waste that time. She'll be willing to help a certain number of people. You've heard about Sweden. Sweden is an amazing choice. It doesn't have to be the UK, it doesn't have to be Canada. And people speak English. Yeah, these courses are English taught. You don't need to learn Swedish, blah, 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 blah. Of course, as you
Like
continue,
not immediately, but later on. Yeah.
as you continue to live in Sweden, you will continue to integrate yourself and learn the language. So thank you very, very much for coming here to share. This has been an amazing
Welcome.
one, and I hope that people will take the opportunity to move to Sweden. So till I see you again, guys, it's been fantastic sharing this with you. All
All
the best.
right.
Bye.
Bye.